All right, hello, y'all. How you doing? If you can't hear, I actually got a mic. I know, I actually have a microphone. That is honestly surprising. So you might be thinking, what's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here for, right? What is it for? Well, um, I'm gonna be rating every single wood in the game. That's what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna rate every single one of them, based off of a few standards, right? Of course, just the base log, right? Pretty simple, right? Then the plank, then the stripped version, then the trapdoor, then the sapling, right? I am not prepared. I'm not prepared at all for this, so I'm just gonna quickly. Right. Anyways, first of all, we're just gonna go through every single one, right? Okay. So actually, no. This is how it's gonna work, right? For every section, there's gonna be a rating from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? All the way down, right? I'm going to rate every single block for its category, right? So first section, right? Our first section, we have the base log, right? Nothing too interesting, right? So let's put some item frames down. Anyways, so now, right? If we just go here, put this over here, boom. Let's get every single log now. All right, here we have every single log. So what is the best log out of everything here? So I think there's two main best logs. That is oak and acacia, right? First off, birch. It deserves to go there, right? It looks horrible. Never would use this in a build. If I will, gonna be using it very rarely, so not gonna use it. So that's obviously on the bottom, right? Never gonna use it. Never. Right? But moving on, what's on the top spot? I think it's the oak log, right? First off, the color, right? It's a nice color. It's a nice brown color. It works with a lot of block. For example, dirt and coarse dirt, right? It works well with that. So that's why it's on top in terms of the log section. But next up, I'm going to put acacia, right? Because we're only talking about the bark texture for this one works well with a lot of different stones, which makes it a good block to be using. So that's second. And then third, this one's pretty hard, okay? Because the spruce jungle and dark oak logs, whoops, I guess. Actually, third makes sense for spruce log, right? It's pretty average, it's pretty good, right? It has a nice color. It's not too dark like the dark oak log. So that's why that goes in third, right? And then fourth will be dark oak log because it's darker than spruce, but it's not like that bad. Like I'll prefer to use spruce over dark oak, but I'll still use it sometimes, you know what I mean? And then we have jungle log, right? It kind of doesn't feel too useful, you know? It's like a dark brown, but like I would rather use these other logs instead of this one. So that's why it's on fifth, but it's not the worst, right? And now we have uh these two, warped and crimson, right? Oh, whoops, what am I doing? I'm so dumb. Anyways, we're back. Okay, anyways, crimson, crimson stem, and warp stem. Which one goes in 6 and which one goes in 7? Honestly, not gonna lie, I think warped goes up here, right? I feel like warped, like the blue texture, is going to be like more useful. And the only reason why I think it's more useful is because of the fact that it glows and it looks kind of sick. That's probably the only reason why I would ever use it, right? It's not the best, I'll be honest with you. It's really not. But I guess it deserves to be there. So that's why that is 6. And then crimson for like very similar reasons, just a different color, right? And I just think I prefer the warped version. Kind of just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, guess what? I don't care. Not really. I really don't care. Why do I keep doing that? Anyways, lastly, for 8th spot, above birch, luckily, we have the mangrove log, right? yet again, just feels like a different rehashed version of jungle wood and oak wood. Like, so I wouldn't really use it, right? It's nothing too special. It's just mangrove. It's just a brown color. I mean, it's a nice brown color, right? I mean, I actually haven't experimented with it that much. Maybe my mind will change in the future. Maybe I'll have like a red pill moment and figure out that mangrove log is my favorite wood. But whoops. But as of right now, it's not. So now this is a ranking for the bark section. First, oak. Next, acacia. Third, spruce. Fourth, dark oak. Fifth, jungle. Sixth, warped stem. Seventh, crimson stem. Eighth, mangrove. And lastly, birch. Moving on. The next section is the plank section. So for the plank section, this basically includes literally everything that's plank-like, right? That has a plank texture. So like the buttons, the signs, the this is that's, you know, right. So now we have all the plank blocks. So what's the ranking for all of them, right? First off, spruce block. My go-to block, right? It's a good block. It looks good. It's a good combination between a nice brown color and too light, right? Next, though, we have dark oak, right? Though I do like a balance between light and dark, when I have to choose between dark and light, honestly, gonna be going with dark oak here, right? Next, we have oak, right? It's a nice color, right? It works well in many situations, but obviously not as good as the more brown variants, right? Moving on, what do we have? We have, in my opinion, acacia, right? Acacia has a nice color, right? Because, it works well with a lot of the blocks, right? It has a nice orange texture, right? Works very well there. It also, like, just works well by itself. It's a good block by itself, right? You could use it whenever you need to, right? It's just, I feel like, looks pretty nice, and it's vibrant and just works very well, by itself, right? So moving on, we have mangrove for the very very similar reason as to why acacia's up there. It's because it has like a nice color too, right? Works well with a lot of red blocks. Yet again, can combine the two together, right? Works very well together. And moving on, we have crimson, right? Crimson yet again works well with these two blocks, right? Whoops! Oh, it's spinny! Yay! Anyways, works well with works well with mangrove wood, man. Like it just looks nice together. Like especially for gradients, right? It looks really nice together. Moving on, we have warped planks. Warped planks, pretty nice, right? It works well with like prismarine, and it's a nice thing to break up some prismarine, right? And I honestly think has a nice color and can be utilized, well, a decent much, right? It's not as good as like spruce wood, for example, but pretty nice, pretty nice. Like it's passable, right? It's passable. But moving on, we have jungle or birch. Which one goes in eighth, right? Jungle, I think goes down here. Whoops, I think goes down here, right? It's not that useful, I'll be honest with you, right? Because if you look at it, it just feels like a redder version, a slightly redder version of an oak plank, right? I don't want a pinker version of an oak plank, right? I would never want that, which is why it's down here, right? I would never really use it that much, right? If you look at it, you probably wouldn't even notice that's a jungle plank, I'll be honest with you, which is why the eighth spot is for birch, right? Because birch, it's nice and light, right? And a lot more useful than jungle planks, I'll be honest with you, right? And even then, right? Birch, I mean, it's not the worst, right? You can still use it in many builds, and I think it's not that bad of a planks block, right? But moving on, right? Now we have the stripped version of the wood. Now you see, the stripped version, I honestly feel, is a kind of important category, right? Because the stripped version of the wood, it's like kind of some of the nicest textures and the ones that you'll probably use a lot. Right, first off, right, let's get the item frames in. Whoops. Anyways, first wood. Yet again, I've got to say, this one really just knocks it out of the park, right? It's always good, right? You can never go wrong with it, and that is spruce wood, right? It's so versatile. You can use it literally anywhere, and it will work, right? And you will like it, right? I use it a lot, right? I can literally fly over here and be sure that I use spruce wood somewhere, right? Like right here, I always use it because it has a nice texture, works well with its plank variant, right? And it always looks good, right? Like this is such a good block because the color is nice and it works with literally everything, right? Moving on, right? Unlike the previous thing, honestly, stripped oak is good, right? Unlike darker is better than lighter. I feel like in the stripped case, especially because it's a lot more soft, right? It has a much softer feeling, right? I feel like lighter is better in this case. But, dark oak's still up there, right? I would still be using dark oak because it has a nice texture and it works very well, right? It always works very well. Like it's a go-to block if I need a darker color, right? So that is always nice, So cool. But unlike all the other birch rankings, this birch ranking is going in the fourth, right? It's not the best, but it's still pretty good, and I would still honestly use it, right? Especially if you're talking about using sand, for example, right? Like here, I use birch quite a bit, right? It's a nice darker variant of sand. You can use it for wet sand, You can use it for a lot of things, really. If it's just like sand related or you need a light block, yeah, it worked very well, especially for like walls and stuff like that. It's a good block, right? Moving on, what do we have, right? So we've done oak, we've done spruce, we've done birch, and we've done dark oak. What is next on the list? For the same reasons, acacia up there has a nice color, works well with orange blocks. It's just a pretty nice block overall, right? Honestly, very underrated. But moving on, mangrove, yet again, very similar reasons, works well with red blocks, and I honestly think it has a very nice color, right? Especially when you're talking about like building with different blocks, like for example, red blocks, right? If I take red terracotta, for example, right, that creates a nice blend, right? The colors work very well together, so that's why I like it. Moving on, what is the seventh ranking for the woods? It is what am I oh right. What am I doing? Anyways, what's next? I think the next best wood is warped. Whoops, what am I doing? I am breaking the wall. What am I doing? I was so excited by that ranking, I broke the wall behind it, sometimes it gets very exciting, right? Warped wood works well yet again with its other wood type, and I think, right, the color just looks so nice. It's so smooth and it makes me feel calm, It gives you a good feeling on the inside. So that's why it's up there in the seventh spot, right? Moving on, we have crimson, right? I think it has a nice color. I can use it in many different places, right? And honestly, I will be using it, right? It's not a bad block, but it's also really not the best, I'll be honest with you, right? It doesn't have as many uses as all the other blocks, right, up here. But you know what has even less uses? Stripped jungle log. Yet again, like the jungle plank, kind of just a rehashed version of the oak stripped oak log, right? Just a pinker version of it with a slightly different texture. It also looks kind of weird because it got kind of like green inside of it, and I don't like that in a stripped wood, right? When I see a stripped wood, I want a good-looking stripped wood, not a bad-looking stripped wood, if you know what I mean. Right. Now we're gonna do trapdoors, right? Honestly, I'm just gonna do with the doors because I'm too lazy to do another category just for the doors here. So for the doors, I mean, what am I saying? For the trapdoors, right, and the doors, right? What will the ranking be? What is the best trapdoor? I think we all honestly know the answer to this question, really. Let's be honest here. We know what the best trapdoor is, right? Like, no question about it. This is a pretty easy question to answer. But what about the other trapdoors? Let's see. Yet again, first, spruce. Yet again, you have to say, right? Spruce is kind of like one of the best woods in the game. Let's be honest here, right? That's like up there, as we can clearly see right now. But moving on, what's second? Dark oak. Dark oak has a nice texture and has a good texture where it can actually work with a lot of blocks, which I feel like kind of lacks in many of these other woods, right? Like they have these weird textures that, you wouldn't really get to use. But what is next, right? Why did I put it there? Oh wait, I was showing y'all. Anyways, what's next? Oak, right? The important thing about a good trapdoor is having a texture that you can use. So if you're talking about oak trapdoors, right, most of the time, right, you can probably use this thing for like uh, a, a window, because it's transparent. You can use it for like a small little cage. You can use it for this. You can use it for that. You can use it for honestly a good amount of things. And that's why it's up there in the third spot, right? It's pretty good. But moving on, let's first chuck this all out because we don't want to see them. It's acacia. Acacia, honestly, mid-ranged wood. Let's be honest here. But it's still underrated because a lot of people think the texture is very ugly, right? Well, I tell you that you're wrong. And I feel like the acacia trapdoor, as we said, right, consistent, usable texture is what we need. And what you find in this acacia texture, right, it's nice and straight, right? For example, if you want to put it in a row, right, I can see that as like a balcony, or like a railing or something like that, right? I can see it being used that way. Or even a window, not gonna lie, right? It has a lot of uses, right, that I can see. So that's why it's up there. What's next, though? I'm thinking crimson, right? It's kind of very similar to jungle, but it's like different enough for it to be good, right? Like, because it's basically a different color, right? It's still useful because I can still use it. So that's why it's there. So safe, right? Let's get rid of this stuff. Oh crap, not the mangrove wood. No. Anyways, I'm not I'm not too sure about this next ranking, but mangrove wood, it's up there, right? I feel like this texture, it can be used, right? I wouldn't say it's like one of the best textures ever, but I'll also say it's not one of the worst, right? Honestly, I can see this being used as some sort of window or because it's got a nice like hole in the middle, it can just see through it. I don't know, but I feel like it's a decent texture, right? And I could actually use it. But moving on, we have. Let's actually get rid of the mangrove. I don't want to see it, man. We have birch. Kind of one of the highest rankings so far for actually no, birch is in the fourth here, but still, for the trapdoors, a nice seventh, right? I can see myself using this texture, right? It's a bit light, and the dwarf, I mean, not as usable, but it's it's fine. It works, right? It works. And now for eighth spot, what is the eighth spot? Warped, right? I can use this, right? Like if I see this, I can use this, right? It's nice wood texture, right? I think it works. But jungle, on the other hand, first off, that's ugly, right? Why would I want 6 pieces of a pie on a trapdoor? wouldn't want that really, right? Unless you're trying to do some decorative like railing or something, I wouldn't use it. And even then, yet again, we're going back to some of our first points, right? For jungle wood especially. If I need something of like this color, I'll just use oak trapdoor. Why would I use the actual jungle trapdoor, right? So that's why jungle, you're ninth. Yet again, honestly, jungle wood just down there kind of overrated, not gonna lie. Maybe no one ever loved it, but still, I don't care. I don't love it. Anyways, what's next? Guess what we have next? The sapling. I don't know why I decided to rank it, but I decided to rank it because I feel like this is very different from all the other woods, and it's technically part of the wood type, so we're doing it. Oh, also back to the trapdoor thing, right? The wood, the door is very similar to the trapdoor, so I'm not gonna bother to rate both of them. And honestly, it kind of fits in the same area. So, yeah. Moving on, we have all of the saplings. Here we go. Sapling time. First sapling. It is. Oh crap! I forgot about bop bang chicka bop bang. Anyways, what is a first sapling? I think this is quite hard. I am not gonna lie, it's quite hard. I don't know how to rank the saplings, because I don't know how to use every single one of them, right? I don't use them like all the time. But first off, I'm gonna give it to Warped. It's been in the lower mid range, right, right there. But for the mushrooms, right, I respect a good mushroom texture, right. Same goes with the crimson, right. I think it looks nice, and I can honestly use it, right? But moving on, right? These are the first off easy first two, right? Because I wouldn't really be going around using different saplings. But next, overall, decent performance. We have oak wood, right? Having pretty high spots overall, right? A good contestant to the spruce wood. We have oak sapling, right? Because this kind of looks like a small tiny tree, unlike all the other saplings, which look like small tiny trees, but like small tiny tree ish. I don't know what I'm saying really, but it's honestly, not a bad texture, right? Like I can actually use this texture when I'm building. But what is next? Honestly, I'm gonna go with dark oak, right? Dark oak. The thing about dark oak is you don't have to put it in a pot for it to be able to just exist, right? For example, it won't grow up. I mean, I know this isn't really building related, right? I can just turn the tick speed down to 0. But honestly, when you're doing survival, for example, Dark Oak's gonna get you, right? Plus, I think it has a nice texture, right? I feel like it looks pretty good. So that's why that's up there, right? It looks like a little tree, doing its thing. But what's next? I feel like it's spruce, right? Spruce has just it always just has a nice texture. It looks like a nice mini tree, right? That I would use, right? And I think it's just honestly pretty sick all around, right? But next, moving on, we have what do we have? We have and we have birch. Birch, right? Nice texture. Kind of looks like lettuce. I am not going to lie, right? Or cabbage or bok choy. I don't know, some sort of vegetable with a slightly yellowish middle. I don't know, right? And I think it looks pretty sick, right? I would use it, and I'll use it with pride. Moving on. Whoa, what was that? It did a weird thing. Anyways, we have jungle, right? It looks nice. I would use it. Like, honestly, honestly, this isn't really that important of a ranking. Because, like, usually you just stick to like the top 4, top 5, and that's about it, right? Down here, they just become useless, right? They're not really that useful, right? So jungles in 7th looks better than acacia and the mangrove propagule. Next, we have acacia, right? I could use it. Honestly, I'll use it, right? If we're in a like acacia biome, right? in a savanna biome, I will use it, right? Propagule, like, what the hell is that? It looks like a bean sprout or something. I don't know, right? Especially in this texture, right? The only reason why I would use it is probably because I want a mangrove tree, you know? Like, I wouldn't really be using it at all, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't use it really. So, yeah, that's that. Now, what is the best wood? So this is how it's gonna go, right? First place for like their category will get 9 points. Wait, no, 8 points. Yeah, 8 points. So first place gets 8 points. You know, pretty good. Second place will get what was it again? 7. 3 will get 6. 4 will get 5. 5 will get 4. 6 will get 3. 7 will get 2. 8 will get 1. And 9 will get 0 because it just sucks, really. So if you're a 9, you suck, you're useless, no one likes you. Anyways, yeah, that's... So, also, if you like anything down here, you suck, but no one likes you. Just kidding, we all love you, or do we? Anyways, right, let's just get to the rankings. I'm gonna do some math, I'm gonna suffer, and I'm gonna figure it out. So I'll be back in a jiff. Like the peanut butter jiffy, taste. I can't eat peanuts, I'm allergic to those. Anyways, doing the math, doing the math. Boo ba da doo da doo 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 doo. What am I doing? Doing the math. Alright, I am back, and I've got the result. So, right, before we get through, right, quick flyby of everything that we've ranked today, all the woods and all the goods. Oh, that rhymed. That was actually pretty nice. All the woods and all. Shut up! Die. Anyways, unimportant. You didn't see nothing. Unimportant. Um, First off, let's just before I even look at the results. I mean, I already know what they are, but Birch and Jungle got done dirty today, or especially Jungle. I think we know who lost this, honestly. Like for Jungle, I don't even have to do the math with the calculator. I just know, right? So let's get to the math. Let's get to the lists, right? So first off, guess who we have? We have. Wait, actually, I should probably get to the form because I actually don't. Let's actually. I'm just gonna look at the form. You're gonna look at dark screen right now. Yeah, that's what you're gonna be looking at because I'm looking at another thing. I don't want you to see what I'm actually looking at. Right? It gives it more suspense. You know what I mean? So, should be black screen right now. Um, just recording my voice. Yada yada. Woohoo! Hi. Anyways, first off, we have in a surprising. Actually, there's nothing really surprising about this, right? Honestly, the only surprising thing was how close this actually was. It was spruce that was first, right? Spruce, obviously, best wood. Not rigged at all. Spruce on top. 34 points, right? Out of everything. Honestly, I don't even know if I did my math right. If it's wrong, I don't care. Suck it up, nerds. Anyways, next we have oak with surprisingly 33 points. However, rigged. I mean, I know this is very rigged, like to my own opinion, but how did I have oak come above dark, which is at 30 points? Right? I don't know how I failed to rig something that was completely in my control, but that's fine because next we have acacia at 22 points. Right? Honestly, acacia yet again, mid-range block. Right? Wouldn't say it's bad. Wouldn't say it's necessarily very good, but it's there. It's mid-range and you can use it. But moving on, we have Crimson at 17 points. Crimson stem, right? Looks very nice. Makes me feel good. looks pretty sick. It's nice red color. It works. Right, next we have very close, right? Very close 6th place, right? Very close to Crimson. We have 16. Warped with 16 points, right? 1 point off of Crimson. The only thing that's really keeping it up there and it's making up half its points is that one fungi thing, right, on top. So I guess you can say that Warped Wood is one fun guy. I am actually so funny. Anyways, next we have a tie between surprisingly Birch not being last and Mangrove, right? Use. And lastly, I mean, we've already talked about this, but like the literal wood that's so bad I can literally count it with my fingers. It's Jungle with literally 6 points. Kind of embarrassing, not gonna lie. You know, Jungle literally, it's not the best, I'll be honest with you. It's pretty useless, right? I never really used Jungle Wood ever. I mean, yeah, I just don't use it. Like, don't use it really. It has no use except for absolutely just being there and being useless. I use it like once every year, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah, that's it. Just reading over the rankings one more time. We have Spruce, Oak, Dark Oak, Acacia, Crimson, Crimson Stem, Warped Stem, Birch Log, Mangrove, and lastly, and sadly, and literally just embarrassingly 6th place, we have Jungle, which is literally just a slightly greener, slightly pinker, and slightly more useless version of Oakwood. Honestly, everything except for Jungle Wood, you know, you can use it, and I honestly think it's pretty nice. But honestly, we have our victor. We have the best wood ever made in existence, or, well, in Minecraft building, and it is, in fact, spruce wood. I knew it from the beginning, and I was vouching for spruce wood in the beginning, and surprisingly, I was a person who's choosing everything in the beginning. So if you say that this is rigged, and this is dumb, and it's all my opinion. Well, guess what? I don't give a crap about you guys. I do. I'm just kidding. But I don't give a crap. This is my opinion, and I'm right. You're wrong. And ciao. Also, subscribe, please. Thanks. Bye.